Hey y'all, welcome back to the channel. It's your girl Bella Kitty, or you can call me Kitty. Today's video is gonna be a little different. Just a little different, but then we're going right back to the new style. I know this is an old style, sit down, formal video, but the conversation has to be had, okay? The conversation has to be had, and it has to be had right now. All right. If your candidate lost this morning, that does not mean up and move from the United States of America. I know a lot of y'all not gonna do it. I know a lot of people, it is lip service, right? If you're looking at this channel, you're probably already considering it, you know, which is totally understandable. But that does not mean make a hasty decision based on the current election results, okay? We have to be clearly honest. The video that will most likely be posted before this video is a video of me explaining my exodus from Mexico and returning back to the United States. One thing I think that a lot of American citizens take for granted is all those freedoms that we have. Yeah, I know they ain't great. I know they're not equal across the board. I know me as a Black woman, as a single woman, you know, as a woman, as a mother, things that apply to everybody else don't really apply to me. Things can be skewed a lot. However, if you are going to another country and you're going with your US dollar, that is a privilege. You must understand what privilege looks like. We don't want to acknowledge the privileges that we have within the United States. So up and I'm leaving the country, do you have the stable, secure income? I'm not talking about do you have a job. Does your job know you're leaving the country? Are your kids prepared to leave the country? If you are a single mother or a single father, does your co-parent know that you're leaving the country? Do you have legal rights to leave the country? It's not just get a passport and leave. There's so much more that goes into leaving the country, but also understanding the economics and the structure of the country that you're going to. And I will speak specifically about Mexico. Everyone's first line is to cross the border. Mexico is the easiest thing to do. You can get a 180-day tourist visa. You know, as long as you got cash, you can get a place. It's a low barrier to entering the Mexican communities and country. It's easy for you to do with money. However, it's the sustainability of it. Also, it's understanding that people in Mexico fully know what your privilege is. You might not know what your privilege is, but the people of Mexico know what your privilege is, and they know what the USD looks like to them in their economy. They know what the exchange looks like. Today is running 20 to 1. Okay, with that in mind, there's an automatic assumption that you can pay more. And with that, you will be charged more. Understanding the language, understanding the culture. Me, as a woman here, it has not always been easy. One of my major frustrations here is working with service people. Most service peoples are males. You know, the culture is different for a woman versus a man. The driving is different. Everything is different, and you have to understand that. Your privilege tells you, I'm gonna just go to another country. Baby, you can't go into another country. Living in Mexico versus living in the United States, not the same thing. Especially if you don't speak the language, especially if you don't understand the customs and courtesies, especially if you don't understand the power dynamics that exist and that are at play, especially if you don't understand that there are no social services here in place for you as an immigrant. I know we want to fancy up the word and call it expats. Baby, you are an immigrant. I am an immigrant here in Mexico. I immigrated here. I have residency here. I am not an expat. I am an immigrant. Nobody wants to call themselves that because we want this fancy term that makes us feel comfortable. When I first came here on tourist visa, I was like, oh, I'm an expat. But when I built my life here, I fully understood I was an immigrant. I came here. I have a strong impact on the economy around me and the economy at large. So these are the things that we have to take into consideration. So just up and running for the border, catching a plane, trying to go to Europe, racism exists everywhere. Okay, this for my Black people. Racism exists everywhere. There is colorism within the Mexican community. The darker you are, the less desirable you are in the culture. And that's because they were colonized by the Spanish, which have whiter, lighter skin. So the whiter, lighter you are, your hair is, your eyes are, you are more acceptable. Okay, they're working away from that. Yes. Does it exist? Yes. Yes. Here in my country, you see it all the time. You see it when you go into offices. You see it when you look at the billboards and advertising around you. There is extreme colorism in Mexico. There is racial discrimination in Mexico. It exists everywhere. So think that you're just going from the United States to Mexico and it's going to be easy. It's not easy to exist here, especially if you don't have adequate income. I know y'all always say, Kitty, we tired of you getting on people. Stop trying to up and run and you don't have enough money. The cost of living in Mexico is increasing because their kind of economy is doing better, which is amazing for them. But thinking that because you have USD, it's just going to be easier for you, it's not. Okay, it's not. You need to stop. You need to get out your feelings. You need to get into your logic and reasoning and thinking and think it through. Because I already know by COB, there's going to be tons of influencers, consultants telling you, let me help you escape, get on a call with me so I can help you get out of America KKK and all that. Y'all, listen, those people making money. They're trying to make money. They're making their USD off of you. That's what they're doing. They're making their money based on your emotions, and they already know to do that. They're going to schedule calls and how to get out of the country before January 20th, or I can't remember what, I think it's the 20th. How to get out of the country, how to get settled, how to leverage this, how to leverage that, da-da-da-da-da. Do not make an irrational decision based on it, okay? The reality is, yeah, people are, no one party has ever been pleasing to other parties. Somebody's always gonna have a complaint. The belief that we're going back into chattel slavery is insane. That is what propaganda does. Propaganda tells us that because something that we don't like, it's the extreme opposite, okay? Things will change. Things have always changed. Every time we get a new president, things have changed. I've been an adult. I think this was my fourth or fifth election. Things have always changed. I was a service member through 2 presidencies. Like, things change, and you have to be an adult and use your adult logical thinking mind and understand how you can survive and thrive within that change. All right. And running to Mexico, particularly Merida, with its extremely high cost of living in comparison to other parts of Mexico, is insane. Please do not do it. I know everybody upset. I know people are upset, but coming to Mexico is not going to solve your problems. Being an immigrant to another country is not going to solve your problem. Thinking logically, making a plan, ensuring that you have income and resources in place for yourself is what's going to do it. As I have already said, I'm going back to the U.S. for my daughter's education. That is every kid in the U.S. gets a free education. Do I think it is in trash? I do think it's trash in comparison, right? When you look at certain areas compared to other areas. But when you look at the U.S. education structure versus a lot of other parts of the world, baby, it's at the top. It's probably at the bottom of a lot of developed first world countries, but it's still at the top when you compare to that. There's not a lot of fully developed first world countries where kids of all colors and all genders can go to school and get the same education, all right? And again, a lot of it has something to do with parent involvement, employment, and all that. I get that, but up and running to Mexico is not going to solve that for you, okay? It's not going to solve that problem. Gun laws and all these other things. This part, a particular part of Mexico, does not have gun crime. All the rest of the other parts have really high gun crime. There are only 2 states out of the 32 states here in Mexico that are deemed safe to travel, and that is Campeche and that is Merida. Other than that, they have crime. If you listen to other expats' stories in other parts of Mexico, you will fully learn that the crime exists. Talk to an expat. They lived in Playa before they moved to Merida. She said they saw someone pew-pewed a police officer right in the middle of the street in the tourist district in broad daylight, okay? The things happen, okay? Understand what your privilege is telling you. Understand the privileges and resources you have right now. If your lights get disconnected right now, there are social services in the U.S. to help you turn your lights back on. If you come here to Mexico and your lights get disconnected, baby, you just in the dark. Go get you some candles. Go get you some candles. Yeah, that's what it comes down to, all right? Power grid structure. Electricity goes out here, not a lot, but it goes out here because the grid is not stable. Okay, but you can't call your insurance and say, well, your renter's insurance and say, hey, my electricity went out and all my food in my refrigerator is damaged. No, baby, you just got to go buy some more. In the U.S., you have the privilege. If energy, I don't know, I can't think of whoever, you know, veterans insurance or veterans electric in Texas, if they're cut off your, you can file a renter's insurance claim and they'll send you $300 by COB in your USAA account or whoever you insured through. They will replace that for you. You don't have that. You don't have that here. That's a lot of things of living in a developed country and the privileges that you have as a citizen of that country. Is the US perfect? Hell no. No, it's not. No, it's not. It's very broken. It's been broken. But no country is. You need to weigh your pros and your cons. Particularly, I'm talking to people, Black people, I'm talking to women. A lot of expats, everybody only want to look at the story of how people are living while they're in the country or in the state or in the city that they want to go to. They're not looking at a lot of people when they leave. A lot of people leave for varying reasons. A lot of people don't tell why they're leaving or tell their story why they're leaving. A lot of people don't say, hey, I went there, I did not make enough money. Hey, I went there thinking I was gonna have more resources, but I could not afford really the resources because the cost of living is higher. Hey, you know, them utility bills. One lady told her story about her utility bill was extremely high, and you can't even make you cannot make payment arrangements here in Mexico. You can't make payment arrangements, baby. You got all of it or none of it. What you gonna do? What you gonna do? Okay, these are all the privileges that people don't think about. I don't want to rant anymore. I just want to come and say, think logically, think it through before you up and make that move. I know you see the people and they got the beaches and the cenotes and they're living good and they're doing this and they're doing that and that all looks great and fun, but you got to understand the backstory. Don't let your emotions get you in a pickle, and also don't let these consultants get online helping you to escape the you know, chattel slavery of the United States slave, you know, company. Okay, don't let them do that to you. Think it through for your today, for your tomorrow, for your 4 years, for your 6 years, for your 8 years. All of these things will impact you, decisions that you make today. All right, take a deep breath in through your nose, out through your mouth, and have a good day. All right, process this as the adults that you want to see in office. Think logically, okay? Think logically, process it like adults. Y'all have a beautiful day. Thank you all for watching. We're going back to the normal format on the next video. Please like, comment, subscribe, and share. Until next time, bye.